Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not to you.
Oh.
I was going to congratulate Biggie on something. Once every couple of months, there's a woman in our office named Tracy Harvey who's phenomenal. And she sort of runs or is part of human resources. And we don't see as much of her as we used to because she's not in the buildings much because of COVID, of course. But she sends out a trivia question. And it happened again yesterday or 2 days ago. The first time she did it, she sent it company-wide, a trivia question, which was like a riddle. And the last time it was, if you're thirsty, you can drink me. If you're hungry, I can provide food for you to eat. And if you're cold, you can start a fire with me. What am I? And I said, the Bible. Because I was trying to be deep.
Yeah, you were trying to get way inside.
That's right.
Way
It's
inside.
a deep philosophical question.
This was 6 weeks ago. Now, that came out, and Biggie read it. It was company-wide. And I said, the Bible. It's got to be the Bible. It gives me nourishment.
It feeds me.
It feeds me.
It cloaketh me.
I drinketh from it. It cloaketh me.
When I can findeth it.
Excuse you.
I'm sure there's one by your daughter's bed.
Let me tell you what my daughter said the other night. I've been meaning to tell you. This was 4 or 5 days ago. It must have been last Saturday.
Okay.
She said, I want to go to church tomorrow. And we haven't been to church in a while. Okay? COVID. And I knew about COVID 28 years ago.
You've been waiting on this, haven't you?
Yeah.
I was first on this. But we haven't been to church in a while. And my daughter is spiritual. You know that.
Bless her bones.
Yeah. And we have Bible study once a week where she leads it and teaches us.
That's an ongoing thing.
Yes, we've done it now 4 times. And she will tell us.
Are there still quizzes as part of this?
Yeah, she'll do a quiz. And
how are you doing? How's the family doing?
Not great. Not great. In fact, last week it was about Revelations. We really got into it. Like,
that's way back in the back.
That's her favorite. She's like, Revelations. Like, oh, God, we doing Revelations now?
Isn't that the heavy stuff?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, it looks at the future.
Yeah.
Very heavy. And she did some Old Testament stuff, too. And
Okay.
Like not eating pork. And I said, sweetheart.
We are a pork family.
Look at us. Look around you.
I told her. I said, I don't.
If the zoning was different, we'd have a flock out back.
Yeah.
But we live in an upscale suburb.
But yes, and she said, and she really got me on this one. She said, I want to go to church on Sunday.
Okay.
And we were back and forth about
1 week before the NFL.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yep,
right.
perfect timing.
And I said, I'm just not really a church guy. And she said,
This is just the two of you one-on-one?
no,
or
the family,
this
we're all
setting?
sitting
Okay.
there. And
All
she said, I want to go to church. And we had talked about it for a while. And I said, maybe I'm just not a church guy. And she said, well, maybe Jesus wasn't really a I'll die on the cross for your sins kind of guy, but he did it, didn't he? And I said, yeah, there's really no coming back from that.
Pass the rolls.
I was like, okay, all right, okay, all right.
More caddy?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, what else can you say?
What can you say?
What can you say to something like that? So we're still in talks, and we're...
Even the devil's like, that's pretty good.
I wouldn't stoop that low.
I can't knock her for that.
She pulled out the big guns, man.
Oh, she got me. And my wife...
She's too hot to touch. I'll never get my hands on her.
I knew this would be trouble.
My wife said she just nailed you. And I said,
Man.
she did. I can't just flippantly say, maybe I'm just not a church guy. Oh, really? And she just laid me out. So when the trivia question came in a month ago,
Right.
if you're hungry, you can use me for food. If you're thirsty, you can use me for drink. If you're cold, you can use me for fire. I said, the Bible, to be deep. Well, Biggie said...
Instantly read the riddle and went, boom.
Bible. But Biggie, he's like, well, it's coconut, right?
Clearly.
You can eat the coconut, you can drink its milk, or you can burn the husk. And I said, Biggie's so dumb. No, it's not the coconut.
It took him a second and a half.
Right. So we all got in, and it's company-wide. I wrote back.
You submitted yours.
I submitted the Bible, and Biggie submitted coconut.
There's your winner.
And it came back, and Tracy Harvey, who ran it, said, one person got it right. It's Biggie. It's the coconut. One of you said Bible. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say
We'll
who
have
it
to
was.
speak privately.
This is 100 people. 150 people. Try it.
I won't say whose mouth that came
Jeez.
from because you wouldn't expect it.
And I said, golly, the Bible. So yesterday, trivia question number 2. Okay, riddle number 2. So here's the riddle. Every night I'm told what to do, and every morning I do as I have been told, and yet still I can't avoid being scolded by you. What am I? I said, my tongue.
Which made everyone uncomfortable.
Very.
Well, it's what you did with your tongue after you said it.
Yeah.
My tongue.
Thankfully, HR was not in the building
No.
that day.
Why did I say that? Every night I'm told what to do, and every morning I do as I'm told, and still I can't avoid being scolded by you. What am I?
I said Rhonda.
My tongue. Dave said Rhonda. Biggie said an alarm clock. And I looked at it and I said, Biggie, you're so dumb.
Come on, Biggs. It's a deeper riddle than that.
So yesterday we got the answer, and Tracy wrote back, 123 of you got it right. Alarm clock. One of you said tongue.
My tongue.
Yeah.
One wrote husband and scratched that out.
I'm going to give you a lashing with my tongue.
Biggie wins again.
Again.
The second one. Now, he didn't get the prize this time. They chose from the more than 100
Right.
that got it right. But I said my tongue, and I don't know
My
why.
tongue.
I'm thinking deeper than the riddles really are. It's a problem.
I think that says exactly why I'm so good at these is I'm surface.
Surface level. You're
he don't look
surface
deep.
level. That's right.
He's a simple man.
You
Yeah,
don't
like
look
you,
deep.
you three will talk about something, really go inside of it. And I
Yeah.
was like, nah.
That's right.
So I just read through. I'm like, well, it's clearly an alarm clock.
You're surface level. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. And you got your coconut and alarm clock, and here I am, Bible and tongue, and I'm 0 for 2. 0 for 2 on that.
Bite your tongue.
Now, I just asked this. This is more serious. This is one of these that makes me pucker again. President Biden yesterday laid out some tough new mandates on vaccines and masking, especially vaccines. And the headline I read was Biden formally announces plans to force company with more than 100 employees to vaccinate every worker against COVID or have them start testing weekly. And I said, now in our business, we have 40 people in this building, but multiple stations are owned, so there's, more than 100 employees. So I said, does that mean we have to take the vaccine now, mandated? And then you all were saying you think that's just government employees. It affects 100
I'm
million
not
people.
100% sure on that.
It said it affects 100 million people.
I saw that, but my initial understanding, and I could be totally wrong, I thought it was just government employees and contractors.
Well, if it affects 100 million people, I mean, that's going to be more than that because that's a third of the population. And so it does seem. But I read the article, a lot of especially Republicans are firing back like this is totally unconstitutional. You can't force people to get a vaccine they don't want to get. And even governors and congressmen who are pro-vaccine said you can't make people
Yeah, it
do
doesn't
it.
seem like that's you can do that.
Boy, he laid it down yesterday. I didn't watch him though. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I mean, it could be government employees if it includes like state employees of certain states. If you include those, I mean, the Department of Defense is the largest employer in the country for sure, and you've got the military in there too.
I don't know where they got that 100 million number from, though.
I know I do hear that.
It
all
also
over the place.
compounds in contractors that would work for the government.
Yeah. But
So if you
still,
build a
I
missile,
don't see anywhere that it's government. It says force any company with over 100 employees to force them to get vaccinated or take a test every week, to prove that you don't have COVID. I haven't seen anybody say that it's government only.
but he's recommending that, isn't he? He's not mandating that for
How
companies.
can
He can't do that.
How can he do that?
He can't
yeah,
do
he
that.
can recommend that. And I think a lot of companies have come out, as we know, and said, to work here, you have to get the vaccine.
That is true.
And frankly, I think that's how the vaccine has gotten to the numbers we've gotten.
I think the vaccine has gotten to the numbers we've gotten because people are scared of the Delta variant, but that too. I mean, I think it's a combination of those two things.
I don't think the government will be what forces people to get the vaccine. I think it'll be the jobs.
Immediately, people fired back, saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." Yeah,
I don't think so.
somebody said yesterday that we have the Delta variant, of course,
Yes.
and we have.
We're talking about
We're talking about
Delta?
We're talking about the Delta.
Of course I'm talking about Delta, you twerp!
Now,
I received an email yesterday. I don't know if you guys did as well. And one P1 said that the Mu variant will make the Delta look like a picnic.
what? How can that be?
I don't know.
So when he said that the Mu variant would even be more destructive than the Delta, I said, do we have anything on a Mu? Because we have the clip about Delta.
Of course I'm talking about Delta, you twerp!
So the only thing that come up with Mu was from
Revenge of the Nerds.
We lambda, and Omega move.
That's all we have.
Omega move.
So that covers the lambdas and the moves.
I guess the lambdas and the moose. And the omegas.
And the omegas.
I knew you'd know. I knew Dave Aiken knew Revenge of the Nerds.
We lambda, and Omega move.
This is an aside, and I know that COVID is a big deal, and I know that the vaccination mandates are big deals, but I always felt bad for sorority sisters who were in any sorority that had the word moo.
Moo. Well, they're so tailor-made to be made fun of.
I know.
You know? And by the
Especially in
way,
that movie.
the moos in that movie, they
Omega
made a
moose.
moo.
the Omega moos
Yeah,
were
it's always the tridelts.
yeah.
They're always the beautiful,
really hot.
the beautiful girls.
But the Omega moo were made to look.
And
not
the
a thing.
tri-lambs, they were a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Lambda, and Omega Mu. Anonymous, explain this to us now. What I saw was President Biden formally announced his plan to force companies with more than 100 employees to vaccinate workers against COVID or test them weekly. Dave and Biggie and Kristen think it might just be government employees. What do you know about this, Anonymous?
Hey, I was just telling Biggie that I believe it includes any places that accept Medicare and Medicaid.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if any hospitals, any nursing homes, I guess that could include insurance places, pharmacies.
Okay. So it wouldn't be a company like this.
So anybody that's receiving Medicaid and wants to continue to receive those benefits has to have.
I see. That's the way he can
That
do
makes
it.
more sense.
That's how he can
because it's
control
government
it.
mandated.
Okay, makes sense.
The
That makes
government
sense.
pays for Medicaid.
Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate it. But you can't just say, okay, you work at XYZ company,
No,
private company, go get. You cannot do. There's no way.
And a lot of the companies are starting to do that on their own. The biggest of the companies are doing it.
What could he do? I think insurance companies are going to start making you pay higher rates if you don't get the vaccine. Period. Like
That's
like if
already
you're a smoker or something.
Yeah,
That's
they
already
can
a
ask
That's
that.
a thing.
Yeah.
California,
That's going to make the progressive commercials really bad.
ain't that the truth?
And Liberty.
Yeah, they're going to go worse than they already are.
Oh God, Flo showing up. Hi, are you vaccinated? I'm not, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not. Get off my porch, you insurance lady.
California Chris knows something about the vaccine. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, hey guys. So it is all federal workers, federal contractors. They used to have the option of getting vaccinated or getting tested. They're removing the testing option. You have to be vaccinated, but it is private employers, over 100 employees, and the way he's going to try to do this is through OSHA requirements and claiming that being unvaccinated is an unsafe work environment.
Interesting.
What do you think about that, California Chris? Can he do that? Are you in favor of that?
I don't think. I think it's going to get tested in courts, and I don't think it will end up getting implemented. I do think it's unconstitutional.
I agree. I think it's unconstitutional also. I'm not a lawyer.
No, I think he's right.
I was very close to being a lawyer.
Let's see.
I was very, very close to that.
Well, you watched legal shows.
Law and Order.
Matlock.
Yeah.
Every episode of both. Thank you, California Chris. I don't think that's constitutional.
I don't think so either.
No, it's going to get lost in the courts.
Agreed. And I think when you do that as the president, I think you've got to expect everybody's going to go, no, I'm not. It just makes him more emboldened and more plant their feet on the ground.
You
even
dig your trench, and you get more
right.
firmly
That's right.
entrenched.
Like no government's going to come in and tell me what to do. I think everyone should get the vaccine. And you know me in freedom. I have a loose relationship with freedom.
Yeah.
I'm back and forth on. I mean, honestly, I think it would be if somebody could say you have to have it. I think that would be a good thing, but I don't think you can do it. Not in this country. You have freedom. Biggie saying, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I just and see that's where I'm very pro-vaccine, but I get uncomfortable with that when the government really
Makes
does
you
start
do
saying,
something.
yeah.
Jay Willie, you're talking about who's going to get this vaccine now that President Biden spoke yesterday. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he laid out 3 different groups that are going to have to get the vaccine. Any government employee or contractor required. Any healthcare worker that's providing healthcare is going to be required. And third, any company with over 100 employees.
Okay.
All right.
Any company.
Any company with over 100 employees. That's what it says.
That sounds like
that's
what
us.
California Chris was talking
That's
about.
right. That's us. I mean, we have more than 100 employees. They don't all work in the same building. But that would mean, because we have people here that are not vaccinated, a few, and I think they would be forced, right? Or OSHA, through the OSHA thing.
I would think so. I have to defer to them. I didn't watch. I didn't listen to them.
Our friend Andrew is on the phone. He knows a lot about this kind of stuff, too. Andrew, your take on this?
Well, there was a case, Kelly, that falls right into the area that you love. Back in 1904, it was a Supreme Court case.
Yes. You take it.
And there was a guy who didn't want to get the smallpox vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And it went before the Supreme Court. And this is what you always talk about.
Yeah.
He was defending his personal liberty. And the Supreme Court said your liberty can't trump other people's liberties.
Your rights stop where others go. Ms. Lucas taught me that in the 9th grade. She had a stop light on the wall, and it said, caution, your rights stop where others go.
Now, she did steal the stoplight.
Okay. It was a real stoplight.
And the sign.
That's a great point, Andrew. What she meant by that was you have the right to drive a car down Main Street. You don't have a right to drive it at 100 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Your rights stop where
Correct.
others go. That's it. Okay, so did
And
this...
so what the,
yes.
what the Supreme Court said is you have to go get the vaccine because since you're not getting it, you're putting other people at risk and you're hurting their liberty.
So are you okay with President Biden mandating that companies with over 100 employees get the vaccine?
Yes, all day long. He should say if you have one employee, you have to get the vaccine. He should say if you get Social Security, you have to have the vaccine. If you get Medicaid, you should have to get the vaccine. If you get one government dollar, you should have to get the vaccine.
And that's the way he can control it, by controlling your dollars if you don't get the vaccine. So you applaud this move yesterday. You don't think it's unconstitutional, as I've seen so many state government bodies say?
Everyone should get it, and he should mandate it since people are being hard-headed and won't do it.
Okay. Well, I'm on the same page with you. Thank you, Andrew, because I believe in it so much. I believe the vaccine is the right way to go, and I believe in it. But, you know, I'm a Republican.
It's Andrew.
That's not what they call you in the emails.
No.
Yeah.
They call me another R word in the emails, but not
excuse me,
Republican.
Republican is not spelled P-U.
I mean, call it what is a Republican these days?
It's hard to be sometimes.
Hard to say.
It's hard to say. I'm a Republican. I believe in...
He's not.
I believe in small government. This is a government. It's like a government overreach. But I think it's so important because I think the vaccine's the way out. I think the vaccine is the way out. It's going to be challenged in court every possible way. We have Lisa Lanier in 45 minutes, so she'll probably have a take on this as well. Can it be done? David, you're talking about what Biden did yesterday with the vaccine. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, what's the difference of that and, you know, forcing our children to get vaccines before they go to school? They cannot go to school without the vaccine.
You're right. You're right. I mean, so many people are so anti this vaccine, but I have thought forever, well, your kids are born and they immediately get a battery of vaccines within the first year of their lives so they can go to school. I agree with you. That's exactly.
But there are more people exempting from those now, right?
Some people do.
And homeschool.
But they homeschool them.
Yeah, well, and before COVID, we already had the term anti-vaxxers, and they were the parents who did not want to give their kids vaccines.
But isn't the same thing that Andrew said? Like, I'll say to you, okay, you don't have to get the vaccine, but you can't come to public school. You can't come to school unless you have it.
Yeah.
So now you say, okay, you don't have to get the vaccine, but you're not going to get $1 of government money unless you do. From
your company's not getting tax breaks.
Yeah, unless you do.
Now that could be done. I think that's why I go back to. I think they're going to put the pressure on the companies.
I agree. Danny, one more quick call on vaccines. Go ahead.
I think it boils down to the old, like the Spider-Man mantra, with great power comes great responsibility. You have the right not to get the vaccine, but you have the responsibility to get it to do what's good for the general public.
Hey, I agree with you, man.
Spider-Man.
I love it. I love it.
Didn't see that coming.
I did not either.
And I totally agree with that. There's one more story here on this I wanted to get to. This doesn't have to do with vaccines, but more masks. And yesterday, I saw something on TV. There's a young man. He is a teenager, 17 years old. He was in front of a town hall meeting in Tennessee, and his grandmother had died of COVID. And he had a mask on, but everybody there was against masks. They were trying to mandate masks in certain places in this town in Tennessee. So listen to this quick news report on this when this teenager tried to speak from the heart.
In Tennessee, teenager Grady Knox trying to make the case for masks.
I'm worried about my family. If I get COVID, I'm going to bring it to my family.
Only to be cruelly mocked by the crowd when he shared how his grandmother, a former teacher, had died of COVID.
My grandmother, who was a former teacher at the Rutherford County School System, died of COVID because someone wasn't wearing a mask. This is a very... Shut up.
Sit down.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you something. When I hear something like that, my heart hurts for this young man. And I think we're, as a country, so divided. Here we are.
Shut up.
Oh, God.
Sit down.
Please.